Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
So whenever anything big happens, we always get together, alhamdulillah, and get your views on it. So Zohran Mamdani, mayor of New York now. I mean, he's elected. He got 50% plus of the vote.
Almost 60%.
SubhanAllah. What's your reaction?
Well, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. Actually, everyone is talking about it, and we need to talk about it. There are so many issues that we need to discuss as an outcome of this. First of all, it is evident that there is a global awakening. Yes, a global awakening, not within the masses, but now this global awakening within the masses is reflected upon the elite, the leadership. So the impact on the masses is affecting now the decisions of the elites. And this is, as many people say, that this is the earthquake that has hit America and that has hit and will continue to hit many parts of the world.
Yeah.
After what? After the world have witnessed one thing that can be divided into two parts: the resilience of the Palestinians in general, and in particular in Gaza, resilience against the genocide, against the crimes, against the ethnic cleansing that has been carried by the occupation for 2 years minimum, and of course the previous years, 70 years of blockade and nearly 80 years of occupation.
They've woken people up.
That woken people up, the masses. Now, the masses this time has an impact on what? On the decision-making circles. Yeah? But let me just mention this. So the resilience of the Palestinians, number one, and number two, the injustice of the global system. The injustice of the global system and its inability to stop this genocide, its inability to establish justice, it is its inability to maintain the human rights that it's champions. Yeah. So why the United Nations was established? In order to what? To champion certain, as they say, human rights, yeah, and to maintain peace within the members or within the globe. But they found that the United Nations is incapable of achieving that. And also within that, they found that this system, I'm just rephrasing what some people have said, yeah, because someone might say, well, we did not see this being discussed. But these were the two main things: the resilience of the Palestinians and their patience, their steadfastness to defend their rights and to achieve their own independence against this genocide, these crimes. And secondly, the incapability of the global system to maintain the human rights that it claims or it promotes. Now, within that, there is a third point which is linked to that some people now felt that this global system is unjust because it gives the rights of veto for 5 major countries, and hence they can destroy any resolution that is trying to establish justice for any nation. And as I always say, this is the case with America, because America has more than 60 vetoes in favor of Israel, the Zionist regime. Of course, this is America, but we saw vetoes by the Russians. We saw vetoes by the Chinese when it comes to the Uyghurs. And we can easily see more vetoes by Britain, by France, by others. Now, is this a just system? whereby one nation can destroy the hope of any nation.
Not just one nation, some people controlling one nation.
Exactly.
Who are giving the instructions.
Yes, yes. So it can destroy their hope to live independently. Is this what they are talking about when they talk about human rights? Is this fair, etc.? Now, all of this, what pushed or wake up the what or woke up the masses, especially the young people, which is really amazing because they thought that the Z Gen, okay, and the Gen Z, sorry, the Gen Z, and they thought that the other young people, they don't care about what is happening globally, and they thought that they are controlling them. Yeah, they are controlling them, but they were shocked. And this is a manifestation of this global earthquake that in New York, which is first of all mainly, as they say, hysterically controlled by the Zionists, controlled by Israel. Israel is putting so much attention to New York because it is the capital of money, yeah, of finance in America. At least it is one of the key cities of America, and so many decision are made in New York or through New York. So then, and they have been holding New York very strongly. None of the mayors of New York, as many commentators said, was anti-Israel. Yeah.
I mean, that's when Zohran Mamdani became he was thrust into the international spotlight when he was the only one in the Democratic primaries, for example, debates, who refused to say, I'm going to go and visit Israel, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So that any time he would say that, not only was that like a first historically for any New York candidate from New York mayor, but any time he said that, he would go up in popularity in polls, which is another,
which is a very clear evidence of this earthquake that is changing the world.
So it is related, it is relevant to what's happening in Palestine.
Definitely, and as they say, in the past, you commit suicide if you talk negatively about Israel.
Suicide, yeah.
Even Trump himself pointed to that. And now they said, oh, it is shifting, that it will be, yes, you will be committing suicide politically, political suicide, if you are what? If you are supporting Israel.
How do you feel about that as a Palestinian? And
So the first point is we need to understand that the world is shifting. Now, of course, many people, I'd like to say this, many people think, oh, yeah, Mamdani is not going to free Palestine. Who said that he's going to free Palestine? Who is going that he is going to bring independence to Palestine? Brothers, sisters, we are not saying this. We are not saying that as one silly person. He said he's not going to bring Islam to New York. Don't be silly. Don't be shallow. Look at the bigger picture. We are not. Okay, even in terms of his aqidah, in terms of that he is pro-LGBT, etc., we are not talking about that. We are talking about that this is a shock for the American establishment. This is a shock for the global establishment. And that shock, we should really build on that shock. We should build on that shift.
Yeah. So many politicians and hopefuls are under the impression that if I say anything against the status quo when it comes to the Zionist occupation, then, like you said, political suicide. So now they can wake up and say, wait a second, you can get to a high office if you are anti-Israel, anti-Zionist.
Excellent.
Unapologetically, not like trying to be very
excellent.
Both sides. He's saying, I'm going to arrest Netanyahu.
Yeah, if he comes. Yeah.
But it's about the policies about,
Definitely.
you know,
Yes.
practically, what are you going to do for the people that you're
So,
governing?
so this is another major shift and another major positive consequence, what you mentioned. And also this is linked to another point, which is now the fear has been broken. The fear circle that whether young people or even politicians used to have, yeah, was completely broken after this, because they have seen an example of a person who openly, yes,
The spell has been broken.
exactly, and that's it. That's it. And that's why we would like to encourage other people to build on this. We Muslims should be strategic enough to build on this, because this is really a major shift. Now, and of course, we are not talking about Zohran Mamdani as one of the companions. We are not talking about him as a scholar. We are not talking about him as an imam. Of course, he has his own shortcomings. Of course, he will be as the lefties. Okay, he will be supporting the LGBT. He will be supporting some other agendas. Definitely, we are not talking about that. We are not. No one says that he is going to bring victory for Islam and Muslims. And we need to mention that no one person will change the whole world. But this is a stepping stone, and it is really a major stepping stone that we really need to build on it. This is one thing.
How do we build on it?
Okay. The other thing is this. How old is he? He's 34. Yeah. He was born in Uganda. He's from a normal family, not from the elite. It is not. He's not from within the establishment. Yeah. He was neutralized when in 1918.
Naturalized, yeah.
Naturalized. Sorry. He is not that rich. He did not receive. They said that most of the funds that he received from what? From the average people, the average young people.
He built a
Yeah,
grassroots movement.
exactly.
And you know, he had 100,000 volunteers.
Yeah, I was going to mention this.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
no one maybe had that within that short period of time, because if you look at his background, he was not a politician. Yeah, so he was a new, but he came across as a genuine person, as a strong person, as a eloquent person, as a person who is standing for his principles. He understood the language of the young people, and this is a key point. He understood what? The language of young people. Also, he really managed to have a balance between the external or the foreign policy and what is happening in Palestine, etc., and also the local needs of the people who live in New York. Really, it is something that has to be studied, has to be taken into consideration. I also want to say that this, what I said about his background, he's not from the establishment, etc., and he managed to pull, as you said, more than 100,000 volunteers. This gives hope to many of our young people that if they have resilience, if they have intelligence, they can make, they can contribute in making a change, a shift. And this is a very, very important lesson for our brothers and sisters.
Sheikh, you know something, it makes me uncomfortable when I see it online, and or you just mentioned like some of these phrases like he's not going to establish Islam or something like this.
Yeah.
Sometimes when we talk about really far away goals like establishing the deen, you know, on a global level or unifying the entire ummah, we sometimes overlook certain things like what does it mean to establish the deen or Islam in my locality, in my life.
Yeah.
There's someone who is, you know, campaigning for justice, campaigning for fairness for people, you know, who are suffering the consequences, who are victims
Yeah.
of billionaires,
Yeah.
who are victims of an unjust economic system. He's trying to tweak it so that they can get some relief. They can, you know, they've been oppressed for generations. Isn't this from Islam anyway?
Yeah, this is, see, that's why I say, brothers and sisters, as far as we are moving in the right direction, we are victorious. Yeah, full stop. This impression that so many young people have that, oh, unless we have another khilafah, yeah, and we rule the world, yeah, or most of the world, and etc., etc. These are maybe dreams, realistic, unrealistic. Yes, and most likely many of us are not going to see something near that in our life. Yeah, but what is the key thing? Just to move towards what making Islam, yeah, relevant to the whole world, moving towards uniting the ummah, moving towards more justice for everyone, Muslims and non-Muslims, moving more towards a better understanding of Islam by Muslims and non-Muslims as well, moving more towards making the decisions in the hands of as-Sadiq al-Amin, yeah,
Truthful and trustworthy people.
truthful and trustworthy. إني حفيظ عليم اجعلني على خزائن الأرض إني حفيظ عليم, as Yusuf said to the king of Egypt. So if we move towards a way where we see the decisions are made by the right people globally, then we are moving in the right direction. Let me reiterate that. Now, the decisions, whether nationally, internationally, are in the hands of the wrong people. And we have seen the five veto countries, it means they have the decision of the whole world. So they are not the right people to take such decisions. If we manage to put the right people in the critical positions, then we are moving towards the right,
And the right people,
in the right direction.
You define the right people as people who are just, sincere, truthful,
sincere, honest.
Even if they're not Muslim?
Yeah, even if they are not Muslims. Yeah, even if they are not Muslims. They are sincere, they are honest, they are just.
So you're
people.
saying this is an Islamic objective?
This is an Islamic objective.
So he is bringing Islam to New York.
Well, see, from one perspective, this is true. But, and this, we need to change our view when we talk about Islam. Many people think that Islam, either you force people to pray, yeah, you force people to you apply punishments, Islamic punishments against those who violate Islamic rules, and so on. They think of that side. But also part of Islam is to establish justice within a place that is not Muslims, even for Muslims. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ during Meccan period, he participated in Hilf al-Fudul, in this treaty that is what? The aim of that treaty is to establish justice for the people of Mecca, although Mecca was not classified as what? As a Muslim country. So this is
so no one would be wronged when they come to Mecca if somebody rips them off, somebody harms their rights. They have recourse to justice.
Yes, and they have they have a path to go and to call for justice.
That had I been asked to do it today, I will
do it again.
Yeah.
And Allah Jalla wa Ala in the Quran, in Makki Quran, Allah Jalla wa Ala condemned those who behave badly with the poor people. أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدع اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون ويمنعون الماعون. Allah Jalla wa Ala is talking about the bad akhlaq, in particular injustice to poor people in Meccan period, which means that bringing any level of justice, this means bringing Islam to that place. But see, this might make people afraid that, oh, Mamdani now is bringing Islam to New York, and they will start thinking, maybe we don't need to mention that. What we need to mention is that they are moving in the right direction. But let us go back to the shock that was created, yeah, globally. We need to really invest on that. What do I mean by that? We mentioned one way to invest on it, to build on it. The other thing is we need, especially those who call for Islam, those who give da'wah, those who are public speakers, they need now to develop a discourse that is suitable for, quote unquote, the masses, the young people who strongly believe in human rights, who strongly believe in equality, who strongly believe in justice, fairness, etc. We need to develop a discourse that is suitable for them. And that is a challenge. And we need somehow to be able to contain them, to understand how, where they come from, in order to avoid having clashes with them, yeah, rather than having the ability to present Islam as a civilizational alternative, as I always say, to them. So they don't see that the solution to this global injustice is in the left only, but they can see Islam as an alternative as well.
Do you think ulama need to alter their discourse as well in terms of creating more people like Mamdani that will be proudly Muslim, that will work towards establishing some of these Islamic maqasid, Islamic policies and so forth that seek to establish justice, because especially after the Muslim vote campaign and last election in the UK, I was thinking, what is our contribution, positive contribution? Okay, we want to punish against people who are pro-genocide. We want to get people who are generally good people into positions of power and influence and so forth. But what is our pitch? What is our manifesto as Muslims?
Yeah.
Right? And I was thinking, and you wrote a whole book on this, of the Hadith Salam, when the Prophet ﷺ came to Medina as the ruler, and he's a de facto kind of leader, and he had a very short, concise speech. And I was thinking, based on that, why don't we build a positive manifesto that this is what we as Muslims are calling for this country, for this city, for this area.
Absolutely.
Afshu salam, spread peace, security. Make sure people are fed, no one's going to sleep hungry. Wasilul arham, join the ties of kinship, make sure the family is intact, you're looking after everyone socially. And Sallu bil layli wan nasu niyam, ensure people can worship Allah and pray and so forth. So maybe this hadith, maybe something else, but we need something that really goes to the masses, because this is, especially economic issues, this is one of the things that is driving the thing that we're all scared about, far right, and all this kind of stuff.
This is actually part of what I said. We need to change our discourse, or not to change, adopt our discourse, and we need to think of the wider society, and we need to think of something practical, as you said. So what is our manifesto as Muslims? Our manifesto as Muslims, and by the way, Mamdani has spoken about this clearly. So he understood that okay, we are New York not for sale, this okay. So, and he said why the rich people are getting richer in New York and the poorer people are getting
They spent
poorer.
like tens of millions against him.
Against
billionaires.
They said the 25 millions were spent against him. Bloomberg spent 13.3, if I'm not mistaken. To bring him down.
To spread ads against him and
yes,
stuff.
But his slogans, which are the slogans of justice, the slogans of Islam, that I want to improve the welfare system of the poor New York people. I will not burden them with more taxes. Yes, and I will give equal opportunities for everyone. So And we as Muslims, our politicians, we should, answering your question, we should develop young people who can adopt this language, and they can come across confidently and present this as the manifesto. What do you want? For example, if we prepare someone to be the mayor of London, what do you want for London? I want this and that and this and that. Okay, and I think if we manage to do this, I think this will be a great achievement.
I mean, well, we have someone who they're touting as the UK's Mamdani, who is the leader of the Green Party, Zach Polanski, not Muslim obviously, but he's Jewish. His deputy is Muslim, and another one is Christian. But he's being. I was joking the other day saying he's a Jewish man that the media attacking as though he's a Muslim, because so many of the policies that he's coming with, he's they're very, to me, they're very Islamic policies. Things that I think genuinely Allah will be pleased with this policy. You know? Like, obviously, like he's pro Palestine and anti the genocide and so forth, which is really low bar to be, by the way. But he's pushing for things like a wealth tax, for example. Right. So to stem the mass kind of transfer of assets from the poor and the public sector into the hands of a few wealthy people. And I was thinking, this is like the ayah Allah says, لكي لا يكون
دولة بين الأغنياء منكم. Absolutely.
So like this is something Allah wants, that He doesn't want masses of wealth to be concentrated in a few hands.
And controlled by a few hands. In fact, as we always say, that the aims of Sharia can be divided into three parts. Yes, the glorification of Allah Jalla Ala, of course, through Tawheed, submission to Allah Jalla Ala, etc. إنا أرسلناك شاهدا ومبشرا ونذيرا لتؤمنوا بالله وتعزروه وتوقروه وتسبحوا بكرة وأصيلا. This is the first one. تعظيم of Allah, glorifying Allah, making tasbih of Allah. The second one is the masalih related to akhirah, the benefits related to akhirah, to go to Jannah and to be فمن زحزح عن النار وأدخل الجنة فقد فاز. And the third one is the masalih of the dunya. Masalih of the dunya. مصالح of the dunya. On top of that, Allah Jalla Ala says, لقد أرسلنا رسلنا بالبينات وأنزلنا معهم الكتاب والميزان. We sent prophets. We sent with them the book and the mizan, the balance. What for? In order for human beings to establish justice. ليقوم الناس بالقسط. Allah Jalla Ala says, إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان. Allah commands us to establish justice. Ibn Mas'ud said that this is one of the most comprehensive verses. إن الله يأمركم أن تؤدوا الأمانات إلى أهلها وإذا حكمتم بين الناس أن تحكموا بالعدل. If you rule between people, rule according to justice. So these are our three aims, and this division, this categorization, is very helpful, because you might not be able to achieve the glorification of Allah. You might not be able to achieve what? The masalih of the akhirah fully. You partially. But you can do well, what? In the third one.
Bringing about justice, or working towards justice, or fighting corruption.
Exactly.
Even the first two, you can push for an environment where people have the freedom to worship Allah, teach people about Allah, call people to Allah.
Definitely. It is very, the Zionist agenda globally is what? Is to establish anything that will establish the supremacy of the occupation, the Zionist state over the other states. So anything, and that's why there is, I don't know whether you have seen a clip of a black American, and he said, you want to stop poverty in the world, you need to stop the Zionist state. If you want to have a peace between Ukraine and Russia, you need to stop the Zionist state. If you want to achieve even more justice in Africa, you need to stop the Zionist state. Look, Trump recently, 2 weeks ago, 1 week ago, he started to threaten Nigeria. that, listen, Nigeria, if you don't stop killing the Christians. Nigeria never killed the Christians, never mistreated Christians, but he has an agenda because Nigeria is a strong Muslim country, although they are not declaring themselves as a Muslim country. It has a lot of petrol. They want to control that. Venezuela, why Trump is trying to wage war against Venezuela? We know that because of the reserve, the petrol reserve in Venezuela. And you see, there is a link, correlation. Normally you see that the Zionist agenda, the Zionist agenda, whether the Zionist in Israel or the Zionist in America, it is always anti-Islam, anti-freedom, even anti those who want to be independent from this agenda, whether they are Muslims or non-Muslims, like the Venezuelan president. So that's why it is all linked together, and this pushes us to start thinking globally as Muslims, to maybe work together with such countries, yes, in order to find a way to establish a more just system, global system. And I think Muslims are facing a golden opportunity to try to push towards a more just global system, and we need to seize that opportunity.
Definitely, Sheikh. We touched on a few important topics here, and we're gonna have to kind of bring the podcast to an end now. But definitely, I'm gonna meet you again shortly, soon, inshallah, to go into more depth on these things about our role as Muslims in establishing justice, in political participation, advocacy, providing mustering up some kind of manifesto, positive case for Muslims and Islam in all around the world. So we do look forward to that. Jazakallah for your time, and Jazakallah khairan, brothers and sisters, for watching. If you like this podcast, as usual, give a like and a share, and let us know in the comments below. Especially if you have anything to put to the Shaykh in the next conversation, let us know in the comments below. Until next time, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.